Anybody play hearts? I accidentally learned how to be really, really good at hearts. I gotta admit, it was weird how it happened. I was a very young kid. Very young. This is in the fucking 80s, right? My parents had a Tandy computer. And on it, hearts. And I used to sit and play hearts. Constantly. Had no idea what I was doing. But I figured the name of the game was hearts. So, most likely, you want to get all the hearts. Right? And that was the way I played hearts. For forever. And then I was dating this girl in high school. I won all the time, too. I figured I'm taking the tricks. Means I'm winning, right? And I was always very confused whenever I would lose a heart. I'd be like, what the fuck, you know? So, yeah, I never really understood the game. And then I had this girlfriend and I went on this retreat with her. And guy there had cards. And I'm like, play cards? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you ever play hearts? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I've played a lot of hearts. And he's like, alright, cool. And I'm playing hearts. And he's like, do you even know the rules of the game? Because against the computer's dumb. People, much smarter. So they kind of figured out what I was doing. I was always shooting the moon to them. And they would take a trick and I'd just fucking lose every time. And I'm like, why am I losing? And they're like, why, you sure you played hearts? And I'm like, yeah, I played it on the computer. And I'm like, I never lose like this, though. So the guy explained the rules to me. And he explained to me what I had been doing. What I had been doing was, I was just constantly taking everything. And every time I would take all the hearts, everybody else get points. And that's how they would lose. And at this point, I don't know. I'm really loving the idea of entertaining the idea of shooting the moon. Because it's all broken and fucked. It's all broken and fucked. People are pissed. Shit's going bad. And as far as I'm concerned, it's good. Let me explain. The reason why people are pissed is because the Democrats are finally starting to get their way. And the Democrats have been driven so fucking insane by Donald Trump and the left side of their party for so long now that they're just fucking gone. Right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is voted the fucking Speaker of the House instead of Nancy Pelosi. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of shit. Dude. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is there's a lot of people pissed off. And there's a lot of people who are bragging when they really have no reason to be bragging. Like, to them it was always Donald Trump. It was never really Donald Trump to me. It was the direction Donald Trump was taking our country. And now, I don't want there to be any misunderstanding. So when I say this, I want you to understand what I mean when I say this. Now, it isn't about Joe Biden. It isn't going to be about Joe Biden. This isn't fucking personal. Like, you morons fucking think Donald Trump knows each of you by name, that this is somehow fucking personal. It isn't fucking personal to him, it's business. And to me, it isn't personal, because I don't fucking care about you personally. Right? This is about the fucking world and the direction that people would like it to move into. Right now, an overwhelming amount of fucking idiots want the world to move in the direction of Fantasyland. Because they think that shit's gonna work somehow. That somehow it's been tried here, it's been tried there, this has been tried, it's done here, and all we have for it is millions of corpses. So they want to do it again. See how many more corpses we can rack up to the total body count of socialism and communism. Alright. Honestly, at this point, there's so goddamn many of them. Think about it. Donald Trump got more votes in this election than any president ever, except one, Joe fucking Biden. And why did it happen? We can sit here, man, we can sit here and we can fuck around all day with the electoral college and it was only a couple 100,000 here and 50,000 there. He was beaten by like 6 million votes. You want to say that a couple 100,000 here, a couple 100,000 there, or whatever, alright, fine. But Joe Biden has more idiots on his side than Donald Trump has idiots on his side. Think about that. That should mean a lot to everybody fucking was up my ass about, it's not the popular vote, it's the fucking, I know. But what does it tell you when we have a record turnout and common fucking sense and the ability to look back at history and reason lost by millions? Fuck them. Let them have it. Let's go through it. Become a prepper, everybody. Stock up. Go to Tim's site. He's got a really good fucking thing that he advertises all the time for food that can sit in a bucket in your closet. You might want to think about getting one. I'm thinking about getting one. Fuck it. Like, let's think of it more like this. We know what we're headed towards. We're smart enough to read history. We know what we're headed towards. Time to stock up. I want to be the motherfucker that's sitting there, still fat and happy, while everybody else is going, man, I can't believe the bread line was so long today. Not in my closet. I got vacuum sealed fucking chicken cacciatore, motherfucker, that tastes like cardboard, but you know what? It's called nutrients. I'm surviving. Like, I'm there. I'm there at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm beyond pissed. I'm focused. I understand what happened. I get it. I get the fucking ramifications, right? It's not enough to just understand what happened and to go, oh, it's really bad. What do you do now, dummy? Like, quit thinking of the problem. Let's start thinking of solutions, shall we? One of those solutions, I would say, don't put your faith in things like gold and money. Tim's right in that respect, too. Gold is just metal. You can't fucking eat it or drink it. At least not safely. And money is just paper. So you can wipe your ass with it. I mean, if you want to stock up on it, a whole lot of people are going to be taking all the toilet paper. We know that ahead of time, so... You know what I mean? Like, the wheels are working now. We're looking at another shutdown. And they're thinking about closing the country until 2022. So, if Joe Biden's president, I'd say time to get a couple extra rolls of TP. Because you never know. It might be out and you might be going, oh, what am I going to do now? If you thought ahead, you know what you're going to do. You're going to grab another roll of TP. It's in the fucking thing, right? It's in the little cabinet or whatever. I have a cabinet. I don't know what other people have. My parents, for the longest time, had this wooden TP holder. It was like a big wooden box, and it had a stick in it with a little wooden cap on the end of it, and you just stuck rolls of toilet paper on the stick. And then when the toilet paper ran out, you took the little lid off of the fucking little box, and you lift up the fucking stick. You grab a roll of toilet paper, drop the stick, put the lid back on, you got toilet paper. I thought it was genius when I first saw it, but of course I was preteen. So, whatever. I still kind of think it's genius. But yeah, I have a cabinet now. Whatever. Anyways, but yeah. Like, I hear a lot of people just bitching. We're conservatives. We're people on the right. We're smarter than this. Let's not just sit in the street and scream, shall we? Let's start buying guns and ammunition and food that can sit comfortably in our closets for fucking years. Like, let's start using the old noggin. You know what I mean? Like, we could really turn ourselves, like, somebody could be an entrepreneur and be like, look, I have a whole lot of useless paper that I don't know in a couple of years. So perhaps I'll take some of my, like, a massive portion of my disposable useless paper, and I'll fucking trade it in for food. And I'll just fill my closet full of food that will sit for decades. And then when shit goes down, I'll be the head of the fucking town. You want to know why? Because when people start to starve, I'll have food. I'll have everything I want because I'll be able to trade food for it. I don't know. Like, we should really start considering this kind of shit. Honestly, we can have new entrepreneurs that will spring up in the black markets of the slums that are going to become America when we go to socialist utopia. It's going to be fucking hysterical. Like, honestly, fuck it, let's shoot the moon. Give them the Senate. Georgians, don't bother to vote. It doesn't matter. Like, I love that one. It doesn't matter. Like, even if it actually is somebody who's supporting Republicans and they're like, fuck it, I don't even care. It's either fucking I don't even care or it's a trick. Like, no matter how you look at it, when somebody tells you don't even bother to vote, it's either somebody who's lost all faith and hope in the fucking system and is just like, fuck it. Do you want to follow that person? If you do, alright, fine. Or it's a trick. It's somebody from the opposition going, I wonder if these dummies will just not go vote. So if you want to support that, there's that too. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But that shit always cracks me up when I see people telling people not to vote. I'm like, because it's nobody with good, honest intentions in mind telling people to not vote. Ugh. Anyways, so China. I'm going to have to learn Mandarin. That is also possibly a good idea. To learn a native tongue. Perhaps Mandarin could be useful in the future. You know what I mean? Like, we can all see where shit's going. Right? Massive corruption at the top. Massive corruption at the top. They've been investigating it for years, apparently. Didn't know. Not until after the election. Why? What? Like, what? I get everybody's intention. Like, nobody wanted to meddle in the election. Everybody was scared to say whatever they had on whoever they had, whatever they had on, because nobody wanted to meddle in the election. But the one thing that we all know for certain, nobody had anything on Donald Trump. And apparently we've been investigating Hunter Biden and quite possibly Joe Biden for years now. The FBI has. I don't know. What the fuck? We had active suppression of the Hunter Biden story, and now that the election's over with, meh. Like, this was my fucking thing. Show of hands. Who wants to find out all this shit after you voted for that guy? Because I'm hearing the reports are 10% of people are kind of like, I didn't know this. Had I known this, wouldn't have voted for him. Well, if you take that 10% of people away and give that to Donald Trump, Joe Biden lost. You know what I mean? So, did Facebook and Google and YouTube meddle in the election? Boy, I don't know. 10% of the people, 8 million people, that voted for Joe Biden are now kind of like, I don't know. That might have been a mistake. So if we were to do one of those fun revotes that everybody loves throwing out the idea of, like, that's actually going to fucking happen. If we were to do a fun revote, a whole lot of people will go, I ain't voting for Joe Biden. 8 million of them. It's 10%. 10% of 80 million is 8 million. So 8 million, that puts Joe Biden down to 72 million, which is alone enough to make him lose the popular vote, most likely the election. And if you were to then give President Trump all those votes, boy, President Trump would be the most winningest president in U.S. history by a fuck ton. And I'd have faith in our humanity as U.S. citizens. But a whole lot of people are sitting here going, oh, I fucked up. Which just makes me lose more faith in our humanity and citizens. Like, like, this is why for the longest time I never voted. Because then I could go into this going, I ain't voting anyways, because I'm not educated enough to know what I'm doing. And then, after the vote, and a whole lot of people go, oh, I fucked up, I can go, that's why I didn't vote. I didn't know that shit either. And I didn't want to be like you. Now I voted. I voted this year because I knew full well what I was voting for. Am I sad that I voted? Do I feel that my vote didn't count? Nah, I'm in Ohio. Ohio went the direction I figured it was going to go. Everything in my general area went exactly as I figured it. So, I don't know what happened with the rest of you. Like, I didn't fail here. You know what I mean? My state did what it was supposed to do, and everything's kosher here. Like, I haven't heard any real fucking, there's no hubbub with Ohio. We did our shit properly. It's all the fuckers in Michigan and Wisconsin and Georgia and Pennsylvania. My neighbors. My neighbors, they I don't know what the fuck they did. Don't blame me for this shit. Like, that's where I'm at now with it. And it's fucking stupid. Like, it's fucking stupid. We all lost. Like, we all lost. Even those who think they won, son, you lost. You just aren't smart enough to know it yet. But I'm going to give you a tip. Check out Tim's channel. He's got a great place where you can get a bucket of food that'll sit in your closet for a decade or more. And if you buy enough of them, someday you may actually be king.